I stared at my phone like it had slapped me. We gave your seat to Sam's girlfriend. She's more fun. That was the whole message. No apology, no explanation, just a text from my mom like it was no big deal. Like I hadn't spent $12,800 and 3 months planning a dream trip to Italy for them. I felt the anger hit me like a punch to the chest. I had paid for the flights, booked every hotel, organized restaurant reservations, even scheduled a private guide for Florence. And now, I wasn't going. I took a deep breath and texted back. Understood. Then I did something no one saw coming. I canceled the whole trip. Flights, hotels, bookings, everything. The money was gone, sure, but I didn't care anymore. If I wasn't going, no one was. I shut it all down before their plane even landed. And that same evening, I changed the locks to the house. They'd been living there for 5 years rent-free, laughing behind my back while I paid the bills. That house was mine, legally mine. They never paid a cent. Not once. But before you think I'm heartless, let me tell you how I got here. It started with one dumb idea: be the loyal son. My dad was turning 65. He always talked about seeing the cherry blossoms in Florence before his knees gave out. My mom, obsessed with sushi. Sam, my younger brother, once said he wanted to try real ramen, not that 50-cent noodle stuff. So I planned it all. A 2-week vacation through Italy. Flights for 5. Hotel rooms. Train passes. Even a food tour. I booked everything while juggling work deadlines, staying up late to compare Airbnb options and subway routes. I upgraded their seats so they could fly comfortably. Me, I chose a cramped seat in the back and a cheap room in Naples. Because that's what love looks like, right? But in this family, I was never loved, I was useful. When the text came, "She's more fun," it didn't shock me. It woke me up. That's the thing about being taken for granted. One day you just snap. It wasn't just the trip. It was years of being treated like a walking ATM. They never asked directly. They used guilt. Sam's still trying. It's not easy for young people these days. You're doing great, we're proud of you. Honestly, we wish Sam had your work ethic. So I helped. I paid his college fees. Bought his books. Even replaced his laptop 2 weeks before finals. And after graduation, he didn't get a job. Didn't even try. Just sat on my couch all day playing FIFA and ordering food with my money. One night I walked in, exhausted after a 12-hour shift. There he was, laughing, feet on my coffee table. "Hey bro," he grinned, "you're late." I finished the wings. I stood there in silence, realizing I had turned my own life into a doormat. The Italy trip was supposed to fix things. Bring us together. Make me feel like family again. Instead, they kicked me out of my own gift. So I took back control. No more funding freeloaders. No more playing the good son. They thought I'd stay quiet forever. But not this time. Mom used to say, "He just needs space. Don't push him, sweetie." Dad wouldn't even look at me. "Let him be," he'd mutter, eyes locked on his tablet, like I was the one causing the problem for asking Sam to clean up or find a job. Then Rachel came into the picture, and everything got worse. She moved in 2 months after they met. No warning, no rent, just appeared in my house like she belonged. She took over my kitchen like it was hers. Used my Netflix account like it had her name on it. My Wi-Fi, constantly clogged from her streaming and posting. One evening, I came home to find her in the living room, laughing into her phone while wearing my dress shoes. "Rachel," I said, frozen. "Those are mine." She smiled, flipping her hair. "I'm acting out a TikTok scene. Relax, it's just for fun." Sam laughed from the couch. "Dude, calm down. She's hilarious." That word, hilarious, stuck in my mind like a bad song. I stood there, quiet, swallowing the insult like I always did. Because I was the provider. The mature one. The one who paid the bills because family comes first, right? When Sam lost the job I helped him get, fired in his first week for being late, I covered his auto payments to protect his credit. When Rachel crashed her old car, I co-signed for a used Mazda. My name, my responsibility. And when they said they wanted to come along for Dad's birthday trip, I didn't argue. I just adjusted everything, again. Rearranged hotel rooms, rescheduled my work days, even downgraded my own bookings so they could have better views and beds. And for all that effort, all that money, all that silence, they gave my seat to Rachel. She's more entertaining, Mom said in her text. That wasn't just rude, it was clear. I wasn't loved. I was used, not the favorite, not the fun one, just the wallet. And what hurt most, I had allowed it. I built the whole trip, and then watched them take it from me. But they weren't done. The very morning they landed in Italy, a text came from Sam. Hey, can you send some extra cash? Rachel forgot her wallet and Dad says the currency rates suck. I stared at the message. Didn't reply. An hour later, another ping. Dude, don't be bitter. This trip's for Dad, not about your feelings. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. They took my spot, my plans, my one shot to feel part of the family, and still had the nerve to ask for more. But I stayed silent. I let them have their fake holiday. I watched their polished videos online, laughing, smiling, pretending we were a happy family, while I sat alone in my quiet house, boiling in rage I didn't know how to express. Then came day 5. The hotel called. Mr. Austin, the woman said politely. We're calling because the card on the booking failed. There's also an issue, we have an extra guest not listed under the reservation. I froze. My heartbeat picked up. They'd swapped me out. They didn't just remove me from the trip, they added Rachel in my place, without updating the hotel, and they used my card to cover her expenses, assuming I'd never notice. But that was the moment I woke up. It wasn't the messages, or the money, or being left out of Dad's birthday. It was the assumption. They assumed I would always take it, always pay, always smile through it, so I logged into my bank account. I disputed every charge, canceled the credit card they were using. Then I called the hotel again. I need you to remove my payment method from the system. Those guests no longer have my permission to use it, I said. The clerk hesitated. But sir, your family. They're not my responsibility anymore. And just like that, I pulled the rug out from under them. The trip I built on loyalty was now crashing down on betrayal. Please remove every person. The whole booking is void, I told the hotel manager. And notify security if they resist. They don't have permission to stay. The staff member hesitated. Sir, they're still inside the suite. I'm aware, I said. They can figure out their own way home. And I meant it. Back at my house, I was already unpacking the few things I'd brought back from storage. I had just finished making a cup of coffee when I heard the car doors slam in the driveway. Voices followed, loud, angry, panicked. Rachel was the loudest, her tone sharp. Sam shouted back, frustrated. And my mom, her voice cracked as she tried to control the chaos. Bang, 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 open up, Sam shouted, pounding on the door. We know you're in there. I didn't rush. I took a slow sip, walked to the front door, and looked through the peephole. There they were, hair messy, faces red with frustration, bags thrown carelessly on the porch. Rachel wasn't even wearing shoes. Sam's shirt was stained. My mom looked like she hadn't slept in days. I unlocked the bolt and opened the door just enough to meet their eyes. What happened to our keys? Sam asked, his tone sharp. I took another sip. Oh, you mean the ones I had broken into pieces? Yeah, they don't work anymore. For real, man, he barked. Is this actually happening? Yeah, I said calmly. It is. Mom stepped forward, voice softening. We just came off a 14-hour flight. We're tired. We're hungry. Please. You're on private property, I said flatly. You shouldn't be here. You're joking, right? Rachel snapped. You're really shutting out your own family. I looked at her for a long moment. You're not my family. Her mouth fell open. Sam blinked in disbelief. Wow, so that's it. We get stranded in Naples, no hotel, no cash, no signal, and this is what we come back to. Sounds rough, I said, standing still. Must have been awful being stuck abroad, on someone else's dime. His face went red. You embarrassed us. You shut down everything. We couldn't even order a ride. The bank froze the cards. That's usually what happens when you commit card fraud, I interrupted, arms folded. Mom gasped. Fraud. That's not what happened, don't twist it. I held up my phone. On the screen was the message from the hotel manager, unauthorized guest. Charges reversed. Asterisk. Sam, I said, voice steady, did you or did you not add Rachel to the hotel reservation under my name? He opened his mouth, then closed it, turned to Rachel. She shrugged. So what? We were all going anyway. I stepped back just enough for them to see into the house. It was empty. No couch. No dining set. No extra furniture. Just bare walls and clean floors. Every single thing they used to lay on, eat on, play video games on, gone. Mom moved toward the door, eyes wide. You cleared out the house. No, I corrected. My house. Sam clenched his fists. We lived here for years. For free, I added. And never once helped. Never said thanks. Never showed respect. Mom's voice was tight. We're family. This is disgusting. You're treating us like strangers over one bad choice. I laughed once. Cold. One mistake. You hijacked a trip I planned for Dad. You erased me. You kicked me out. And you used my name, my money, my plans, just because I wasn't entertaining enough. Rachel rolled her eyes. You're only mad because we had more fun without you. I looked her straight in the eye. No, I'm mad because you thought you could walk all over me forever. I stepped all the way outside and shut the door behind me. The sound of the lock sliding in place was final. You think this is just about Italy? I asked, my voice low. You honestly believe this is about one missed vacation? They looked at me, confused. I took a slow breath. This is about everything I gave up for you. Every dollar I handed over. Every time I let you stay in this house rent-free while you laughed behind my back. Mom opened her mouth. We never. Yes, I cut her off. You did. All of you. You just assumed I'd always be there, always giving, always fixing things. Sam looked like I was speaking another language. So what now? We're just on the street. No, I said clearly. You've got 14 days. Rachel crossed her arms. 14 days for what? The rent's going up. 3 times what it used to be. You'll pay every bill. The guest room is locked. No more free rides. You want to stay here. You pay. Sam let out a dry laugh. You're joking, right? Rachel scoffed. You can't just kick us out like that. Oh, but I can. I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out the paperwork. Rental agreement. Legal. Signed. Enforced. I paused, then added, by the way, your card got declined this morning at Brewhouse. Got the alert. Their faces dropped. No one said a word. I turned to head back inside when Sam reached out and grabbed my arm. His grip wasn't tight, just desperate. Wait, please, he said. His voice was shaking. You don't understand. I've got nowhere else to go. Rachel thought this trip would help us all get closer again. She didn't mean to hurt you. Rachel opened her mouth like she wanted to argue, but nothing came out. She just stared. Sam's eyes glistened. He was crying. I looked him over, really looked, and I felt nothing. No rage. No sorrow. Just stillness. You used to be my brother, I said. But you chose jokes and fake fun over real family. That's not love. That's a reality show. Then I turned, walked inside, locked the door, left them in the cold. They came back to a different life, one where I no longer existed. 3 days passed. No yelling, no knocks, no emotional text storms, just silence, real silence. I had breakfast alone, coffee, a buttered roll, and a strange sense of peace. Not the kind of silence you hear, but the kind you feel. Inside. On the 4th day, my phone lit up. Can we talk? Mom, I regret everything we all did wrong. Don't do this to Dad. I stared at it, then put the phone down. I wasn't angry. I wasn't hurt. I just didn't owe them anything anymore. I didn't need to explain myself to people who only cared when they lost their comfort. Then things really started to fall apart. Their cards stopped working. Rachel went to buy coffee declined. Twice. I got the alerts and smiled to myself. She posted a vague message, some people are just spiteful. Deleted it 5 minutes later. A week later, the new rent kicked in. That's when a message showed up in my inbox. Hey, we're having a hard time managing the new rent amount. Can we talk about other options? No name. Just the family account. Cowardly. I didn't reply. Sam, who had spent years jobless in my house, suddenly started doing small work. A guy the first know from the gym mentioned it in passing. "Hey, is your brother working at Laundry Express now?" he asked, folding towels at the front desk. I just nodded. I didn't feel guilty, not even a little. By the third week, I had fully moved into my new place, downtown, quiet, minimalist. The floors were bare but clean, the windows stretched from floor to ceiling, and everything in the apartment was mine. My mess, my calm, my air. There were no leftover takeouts that I didn't order. No strangers' shoes piled near the door. No shouting in the background when I was on a work call. I'd wake up at 7 a.m., hit the gym, log into work from my dining table, then take long walks in the evening through the city. Every hour, every dollar, every decision, mine. No, hey, can you send a little for groceries? No, please, just a small loan till Friday. No voicemails from mom saying, "But Sam's your brother, how can you be so heartless?" Just peace. Then in the second week, Sam texted, "I know I messed up. Seriously, Rachel's gone. She said this isn't what she signed up for. I get it now, you were right." I stared at the message for a long time. This was the same Sam who laughed when I talked about my dreams. Who said I was uptight and didn't know how to live. Now he was alone, abandoned by the girlfriend who used my card like a credit line, and stuck dealing with the wreckage without his personal ATM. I didn't reply. Then came the twist I didn't expect. A letter from a legal firm. My lawyer called me right away. "They're claiming partial ownership of your house," she said. "Your mother and Sam are saying they contributed over the years and deserve legal recognition." I burst out laughing, not from joy, from how absurd it all was. I remembered mom saying once, "If it's your house, it's also ours." That's how families work. Sure, families that share bills, not just blame. I received another message from her later that day. "We didn't raise you like this. Your father would be so disappointed." This time, I responded, "You raised me to obey you." That's over now. What surprised me most wasn't their audacity. It was how fast their world crumbled when I wasn't there holding it up. Sam picked up a job doing laundry at a fitness center. 10-hour shifts, just to keep the lights on. Mom started calling distant cousins, the same people she used to mock for having useless children. Dad, silent, as always, watching, never speaking. He never got involved when the cruelty showed up. His loyalty was always with staying out of it. And now, they were trapped in the life they built. A life where I didn't exist. As for me, I was lounging on a soft couch in my quiet apartment, coffee warm in my hands, nothing in the room except the things I chose to be there. No background noise, no passive-aggressive comments, no tension, just peace. I wasn't their lifeline anymore. I wasn't the backup plan. I wasn't the dependable one, meant to carry everyone else's mistakes. And for once, I wasn't angry about it. I was calm. They used to say I was the problem. But I wasn't. I was the glue. And when I stopped holding things together, the whole thing fell apart. Sometimes silence screams louder than any argument. It's been 90 days since I closed the door. No more free housing. No more guilt-laced phone calls. No more pretending family meant love when it only meant control. I thought I'd feel regret. Maybe sadness. Maybe a little loneliness. But I didn't. I felt, still. Now I wake up without that tight feeling in my chest. I eat in silence. I sleep without tension. I breathe without fear of the next demand. I'm finally living, not surviving. The phone no longer makes me tense. I don't jump when it rings, expecting a new demand hidden behind fake concern. It's like stepping out of a dark fog. Finally, I can breathe freely. 7 days ago, while unpacking boxes in my quiet apartment, I found an old plastic container. Inside were worn photos, birthday cards, and a folder labeled "Family." Curiosity pushed me to open it. Inside were plane tickets, hotel receipts, and bookings, all under my name. I had paid for every trip, every moment. A sharp ache hit me. Every memory, every family event was bought with my money. They accused me of being cold, but I was the one holding everything together. I flipped through the pictures. In each one, I smiled wide, handed out money, drove people around, and paid for meals. Everyone else looked relaxed like passengers on a ride. Someone else was steering. For a long time, I thought that made me strong. Now, I see it made me invisible. They didn't care about me. They cared about what I gave. And when I stopped giving, their love stopped, too. Sam hasn't texted since Rachel left. A friend told me he's living in a basement and delivering food just to get by. I don't feel pity for him. For the first time, I feel nothing at all because his problems aren't mine anymore. Rachel wiped all traces of us off her social media. Pictures, family groups, memories gone. The show was over the moment the free ride ended. Mom sent one last message. "We didn't raise you to act this way. We miss the old you." I replied simply, "You miss the version of me who never said no. That person isn't here anymore." Dad. He stayed silent, as always. Watching everything fall apart without a word. Years passed with him just sipping coffee, never stepping in to stop the chaos. His silence was a quiet kind of pain worse than any fight. It was passive, but it still destroyed us. I stopped hoping for peace from them. So, I made peace for myself. One evening, I sat alone in the soft light of my apartment. I felt calm. No screen, no messages, just me, holding a dark cup of coffee, staring out the window at the glowing lights of the city. For the first time in years, the quiet didn't feel empty. It felt earned. That night, I grabbed a sticky note, wrote down one simple sentence, and stuck it on my mirror. Nobody is owed more than what I owe myself. Every day since, I've repeated those words like a quiet prayer. Strangely, the same people who drained me now call me cold. They say, "You're not who you were." And they're right. I used to be the floor they walked over. Now, I'm the sea they can't cross. A few days ago, Sam's old girlfriend, Anna, messaged me. We barely spoke when they were together, but she was always kind and quiet. She said, "You were the only one who saw how wrong it was, the way they treated you. I'm glad you left. You saved yourself." Her words hit harder than I thought. I had started to wonder if maybe I was the problem. But Anna reminded me I wasn't losing my mind, I was just the first to wake up. I once believed walking away meant I didn't care. Now I know it was protection. They always said love means giving up everything. But it was never their turn to give. They called me heartless. I call it clear sight. They said I was unkind. I call it healing. They called me selfish only after I stopped belonging to them. And the best part, I feel no hate. I don't want them to hurt. I just don't owe them anything more. That freedom, it's like breathing fresh air for the first time. Next week, I'm flying alone to Switzerland. I've always dreamed of seeing the northern lights. But I never went. There was always someone else's fire to put out, someone else's mess, someone else's holiday I had to pay for. Not this time. This time, I'm going for me. And when I'm standing under those glowing skies, cold wind on my face, far away from all I used to carry, I'll finally say it out loud. I am not your emergency button. I am not your second choice. I am not your wallet, your backup plan, or your fool. I am my own person. And for the first time, that is all I need to be. Thank you for following this story. If it spoke to you or helped you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world and helps stories like this reach those who need them most.